Vatican, Pope Benedict is stepping down. Spokesman says that he will resign February 28th. Pope Benedict told the cardinals of the Catholic Church today that he's resigning, quote, because of advanced age. Now, he is the 265th Pope and will turn 86 years old coming up in April. The last Pope to resign was Pope George XII. That was in the year 1415. And of course, this decision is truly historic.
And it's a shock to a lot of people, including those who are closest to the Pope. On the phone is Dr. Bill Thorn of Marquette University. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, we've known, from just seeing him in his appearances that he, has been in failing health. But for him to resign, this is a big step.
Well, we've not seen it in modern times, of course, and there were people who were urging John Paul II to resign as his Parkinson's got really advanced, and he said for him that was not an option. He thought he could still do the work, but Benedict XVI has said he doesn't have the health to do the work anymore. His legs are very bad. When I was in an audience with him in December, they brought him in on the movable platform that they use for John Paul II. And this is something even his closest advisors had no expectation of. He just has decided he can't do it anymore. He's not been allowed to travel internationally because of his general condition with his legs and his health. So resigning is the option he chose.
Yeah, Doctor, talk a little bit, as you said, the shock of all of this and also what it means to the church.
Well, the shock is universal except for his brother George, who apparently has been in conversation with him about this, according to news reports at least, but nobody else knew. And that's very clear from, I was following the Italian press this morning, and they usually have extremely good sources inside the Vatican, and they're all taken by surprise. What it will mean is that the Pope now, with Lent approaching, will go into a period of retreat, that is a period of private prayer, and will generally be inaccessible. The machinery of the church will continue, but now they'll have to organize a conclave, and they're expecting to have a new pope by Easter. And this, however, means that all the cardinals who are in the College of Cardinals have to arrange to fly to Rome and then pick the next pope. The only things that won't go on in the church are internal bureaucratic things. There'll be no new bishops appointed once he resigns. And he will still be in power until the evening of the 28th of February.
And what considerations do you think they will have, they will take into consideration, given that he was older when he was elevated to Pope? So do you think they will be looking for a younger person to succeed him, or do you think that age will have anything to do with it?
Yeah, it's going to be easy to find somebody younger, but the question is how young. Actually, the way the process works is that as the cardinals gather, they begin a series of discussions among themselves. And it focuses less on personality, which is probably a surprise to us as Americans, than on the central issue facing the church in the next few years. If it is dialogue with the Islamic world, if they see that as the really crucial thing, they'll probably go with the cardinal from Venice, who has been very active in that area. If they're looking for somebody to really be engaged in the world and travel as this Pope has done, they may well go with the cardinal from Quebec, Marc Ouellet. If they're concerned is elsewhere, like Latin America, they may go with the Cardinal Archbishop of Argentina, Bergoglio. If they're still concerned about Europe and keeping things going in terms of the secular environment there, they may well go to the cardinal from Vienna, Cardinal Schönbrunn, who was very seriously considered last time, but at that time, in '05, was considered too young. He's now 60-some years old, 64, 65. So it'll turn on what the majority of them decide is the most serious problem facing the church.
But you didn't say Cardinal Timothy Dolan.
Well, I've been working with people in the Vatican for more than a quarter of a century, and my experience says as long as America is a superpower, there will be no American pope. I think the experience in the church when France was the superpower led to the Pope being a captive in Avignon. I just think they want to stay away from mixing church and state, if you will.
Absolutely.
That creates a problem. Although Dolan, by personality, by intelligence, certainly would be appropriate. I'm not sure they're ready for an American. They were troubled enough that the Italians were that we had a Polish pope and then a German pope. They'd like to get their own back, but they no longer have such a powerful majority in the College of Cardinals as they did before John Paul II.
Such an interesting process. All right, Dr. Bill Thorn of Marquette University, we appreciate you taking the time this morning to discuss all of this with us. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're certainly welcome.
All right.
Bye.
65 is too young for a job.
I know, very interesting. The whole process
It
is fascinating. All right, coming up on Wake Up, getting your